is not about my dream, but how can I serve your dream first? Woo, child. People don't want to hear that. How can I serve your dream first? What's poppin'? Neal Hobson, NEALLYTIME. Yes, indeed. This is the One Goal podcast. And did you know the number one fear over even death is public speaking? Everybody hates public speaking, but it can be made simple and you can be effective at it. And I'm going to help you. I'm going to add value to your life for sure. This is the first episode in the One Goal podcast. And I'm excited because people have been telling me for a long time, Neal, you need to start a podcast. You do all these things. You're a dance choreographer. You're a DJ, live DJ, radio DJ. You're an Emcee. You're a host. You do so many different things. You serve at church. You do videos and announcements and like you sing on stage for praise and worship. Like you do so many different things. You need to put this into one podcast and help people. And that's what I intend to do with you. So not sure where you are in your public speaking background, how often you're on stage, how often you're just in front of people in general. It could be a small crowd of 2, or it could be, 20,000. I've done it all in between. I'm telling you, I've been in small rooms with youth groups and kids and young adults and, where I'm nurturing that and I'm being a good steward in that. But I've been on stage as well with 25, 30,000 people and I'm rocking the crowd. Glory be to God. So I've been everywhere in between. I can take you from where you are to where you need to go. I do this. I'm anointed to teach, okay? This is one thing I realized a little while ago is that I'm just anointed to teach and break it down and make it simple. So I want to help you for sure. Now, I've played just a little background on me, okay? This is the podcast. I'm going to just take it slow. For radio, we're normally boom, 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 in and out, okay? But for a long time, since I was 6 years old, I played tennis, okay? So I did national juniors. I did college. I did professional tennis for just a little while. And I got used to entertaining crowds, honestly. That's probably why I didn't go very far in in my professional tennis career, is because I was so engulfed in, entertaining the crowd. And my brother and I, we was playing, and we can always put on a show. But I didn't have that killer instinct of, I'm going to crush and destroy everything in my way. So, one of the things that I've been doing for a long time is just training, practicing, putting in the work, preparation. And that's what I'm going to help teach you throughout this podcast is how to grow in who you are, okay? I ain't you and you ain't me. That should be the name of this first episode. I ain't you and you ain't me. That's cool. Terrible grammar, but it's true. So many times I feel like we all try to be somebody else and do what they do, which is great, at first, to mimic, to emulate, to copy the style. And then you can kind of develop and grow into yourself. But, we fake it until we make it, but we don't need to fake it so far. So we fake it until we make it, but we don't want to fake it so much that we don't ever make it. Okay? It's so important that we grow step by step. There's no shortcuts to success, but we're going to help add value to you for sure. One of the things that I was thinking about is a lot of times when it comes to speaking, when it comes to being in front of people, when it comes to engaging with an audience, a lot of people just don't know what to do. And a lot of it starts with your confidence level. So say it with me now. Say confidence. Come on. Confidence is key. Now, confidence just doesn't happen because you want it to happen, just because you wear a nice outfit or you do your makeup or your hair really well. It actually happens when you prepare. If you've been around me for any length of time, you hear me say, proper preparation prevents poor performance. All right? I know Peter Piper pitch pack pimple peppers, but listen, you have to prepare properly to have a phenomenal performance. If you don't, then guess what? It's going to stink. All right? So here's the deal. Develop in the dark. Okay? Develop in the dark. That's your first point. If you're taking notes, you can take notes, but I want you to get that. Develop in the dark. I started out serving in church. This is I started out serving at my house first. Hello. My mom was like, you ain't going to go nowhere else and serve there, and you're not going to serve here. You're going to clean these dishes. You're going to clean these rooms. We did these projects at the house. But you start where you are. You start serving where you are, in the dark, where nobody can see you, no accolades, no hand claps, no attaboys. You're serving for the cause. You're getting down and dirty, and you're doing what you have to do until you can do what you really want to do. I'm not sure what you really want to do in life, but guess what? It starts with serving. No matter if you're in church or you're in business, you're in an organization, you're in school, you need to serve, okay? That's the first point. Develop in the dark. I started out at church vacuuming seats, okay? I was not on stage. I was actually vacuuming the stage, okay? I was vacuuming seats. We're in the bathrooms, cleaning the bathrooms. We're, making sure that the sanctuary was looking good for service, serving God in his house. I didn't ask to be anywhere other than, hey, let me just do this. Let me do what I know to do, and that's what I knew how to do. And yeah, you can say, oh, man, yeah, but didn't you think you should be put on? No, not really, not at all. I wasn't there for that. And a lot of times, especially this generation, my generation, the next generation, is always about, hey, what can you do for me? How can I get the glow up? How can I grow up? How can I be on stage and do what you do? A lot of people want to do what I do, but don't want to do what I do. I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. A lot of times, people want to do what I do, but don't want to do what I do. Yeah, you see some of the accolades and some of the things that God has really been so faithful in blessing me with and putting me in these positions and with certain people. I'm just blessed. I'm so, so thankful. I've been on stage with Joyce Meyer Ministries, did her conferences, DJing for her, emceeing for her. I've traveled around the nation with them. John Maxwell team as well, done the same thing. And the great leaders of this generation and the next, I've been able to be a part of. Church on the Rock, of Pastor Blunt, I've been able to serve in his ministry for so, so long and develop all these skills, tools, and resources that I have now to be able to do this other things that I do and to make, good money at it. But it started with developing in the dark, with our pastors, giving me an opportunity to just serve. For real, though. So I'm vacuuming. I see my future wife, which I did with my wife at the time, and she's a receptionist, and I'm, getting to spend a little bit of time just getting to see her once a day. Hello, how you doing? She shot me down like 3 times, but we won't go into that right now. But I'm just serving. And then I went into just taught myself how to DJ. I got this cool DJ set, and I was like, you know what? DJs are dope, and I want to be a DJ, so I'm gonna teach myself how to do it. Maybe you don't know exactly how to do something. You don't have a skill set yet, but maybe you just need to YouTube University it. You know what I'm saying? You put in the work now, and you research it, you read books, you look at videos to make sure that you can grow in something, even if you don't have the proper training or a tutor or a mentor. So I taught myself how to DJ. I started DJing in a young adults group that I met my wife in, and then I started DJing in the youth group, and then I started leading dance in the youth group, and then things started developing where I started speaking at the youth group, and I didn't ask for this. Here's the one thing, because a lot of times people want to get put on and be in a certain position, and there's a scripture, I can't remember the full scripture right now. It's like, don't set yourself before kings. Like, don't like jump up at the opportunity and promote yourself because you're going to be set down, but, your gift will make room for you. Those are 2 scriptures I'm kind of combining, but you don't ask to be before the kings. You keep doing what you're doing, being faithful, the David mentality in the field as a shepherd, developing, and then at the proper time, when the opportunity presents itself, you'll be asked to actually step up. So that's what I've been doing. I haven't asked to be anywhere that I am right now. God has just positioned me as I've been faithful with the small. He's blessed me with the much, and that's what you're doing right now. I know you are. So developing in the dark. I'm doing all these things, and I didn't know at the time that I'm developing these skills to take me to the next level, okay? So in the meantime, I'm working at Mercedes Benz, okay? I work for Mercedes Benz dealership. I'm in sales. I'm 20 when I first start. Just stay with me now. 20 when I first start, and I'm young. I look young now, but I look younger back then. I tell you that, okay? And I didn't know that I was going into car sales to develop me the skill set to do what I'm doing right now. I thought I was just getting some more money so I can go back on tour and I'll be good for tennis, right? And God was developing these skill sets in me I didn't even know. And I'm learning to connect with people very quickly and to, make them feel comfortable with me in 5, 10, 20 minutes. So they want to spend $100, $150, $200,000 with me. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. And I didn't know it at the time, but God was developing these things. And I'll tell you maybe an episode later how he used that to catapult me to where I am right now, developing in the dark. One thing you should ask yourself is number 2, how can I add value? Huh? Like the phrase, how can I help, is lost. You go to Popeyes. What do they say? What's up? They don't say, hey, how are you? How can I help you? You go to Chick-fil-A. Hey, it's a great day at Chick-fil-A. How may I help you? Okay? So there's a difference between somebody that's just there, filling space, taking up time, or somebody that's there to actually help, actually to serve. So how can I help? How can you add value to people? You add value to people because people are valuable. That's what John Maxwell says, right? He says, when you add value to people, then they can take that and multiply it to others. It's so important to say it's not about my dream, but how can I serve your dream first? Woo, child. People don't want to hear that. How can I serve your dream first? And I know you're thinking, like, well, what does that have to do with public speaking or being on stage or engaging an audience? This has everything to do with that. If you don't start here, you're going to be a terrible leader. Everything rises and falls on leadership. And it starts with being a humble leader. It starts with, from the dirt, from the mud, from the jump, the rip, and saying, hey, I want to serve people. Because if it's not about that, that's not your main priority, to serve and to fill a need, then you're lost from the start. How can I serve? How can I help? How can I add value? When you're finding different ways to add value to people, people want you around. People want to be around people that help people, right? If you can problem solve, you can add value, you can figure it out. Whoo, I need to make a t-shirt that says, figure it out. Oh my goodness. If you can figure out problems and figure out the solution to maybe a problem that your boss has, a problem that a leader has, a problem that, anybody has, if you can just figure it out, people want you around. Especially if you can do it at a low cost. Come on now. Figure it out. How can I add value to you? Number 1, what we talk about, developing in the dark. Okay? If you don't develop in the dark, once you get in the light, that spotlight will burn you up. Before you even step on the stage, you need to make sure that you are good and developed in the dark. Because if you don't, I'm telling you, that spotlight will burn you up, eat you up every single time. Number 2, add value. If your thought process when you wake up in the morning is, how can I add value to you? What can I do to you? What can I do to you? What can I do for you? How can I be a blessing to you? Adding value is one of the most principal things. And number 3, I really don't have a number 3. It's more so just being you. I ain't you. You ain't me. Okay? Be you. God's called you. He's uniquely made you to be who you are. Now, we can develop, we can grow, but just be you. That's like the most important thing, is to be you. Confidence comes from knowing who you are. And I know whose I am, which is, I'm uniquely created from God, and you are as well. So once you know whose you are and you know who you are, I'm telling you, there's nothing that can stop you. Nothing and no one that can stop you. People will try to get in your way. They will try to hate on you behind your back, in front. Like, no. When you're confident, hey, I'm growing in the dark, I'm adding value, and I'm being me. It's crazy right now, son. Crazy. Okay? This is the One Goal Podcast with Neal Hobson. NEALLYTIME. And I'm adding value to you. Okay? I want to make sure that you grow. If you have questions, hit me up in the comments. You have concerns, you have any way I can help, I want to add value to you for sure. I've been doing this for a very long time, over a decade, actually over almost 2 decades. I've been at work and I've been, doing what I need to do now so I can do what I want to do now and later. So I'm telling you right now, the best is yet to come. This is episode 1. I'm so excited. I have a whole list of things we're going to cover. We're going to talk about audience engagement. If then what? Like, if this happens, then what do you do? I've been in some crazy situations, okay? So I've been able to figure out, if this happens, then I got to do this. We're talking about equipment. We're going to talk about how to recover, mastering your mind, rules of engagement. I'm telling you, there's some powerful things that you're going to learn. I'm excited to teach it. This is One Goal Podcast with Neal Hobson. NEALLYTIME. You know what it is.